Boy, oh boy, I have a candy for you today. Pretty much, it is a little story about me having a debate with this guy that this guy I know. I'll just say that. We're having this ongoing debate on whether the world is overpopulated or not. And I told him, well, no, he tells me, just look around and you can see that it isn't. I say to him, just look at India and China and places in Africa, and clearly they are. And he says, they don't count because they're third world countries. They have a lot of land for cultivating. And that's when I tell him that, that land is not good enough to farm, and it won't yield enough of a harvest to feed all the people. That's why most people over there starve. He says human ingenuity will overcome, and if worse comes to worse, we'll colonize other planets. Yes, he says this. And I tell him that is science fiction, and the rate of technology really won't keep up with the birth rate on this planet. He says, well, that's not true. So I tell him, what about Brazil and the rainforest being depleted due to overpopulation? And he says, well, that ain't true either. That's big business and evil corporations depleting the forests. Which is true. I agree with him. But who's buying the commodities? And I show him information I gathered that proves that the Brazilian government are actually paying citizens to pioneer the forest basin. And he quickly changed the subject to something else without acknowledging my correct info. See, I make sure that when he is right, I agree with him. He does not give me that same privilege. That would make him an asshole as far as I'm fucking concerned. So, the debate continues. He says that we have lots of oceans we can still fish. And I gave him a percentage of oceans that are depleted, and showed him that we have over 50 dead zones that we can't fish at all and will never come back. He did not acknowledge me. Not even a, wow, that's horrible. A nothing. Completely eluded him. So then I went out and did a few hours of research. It only took me a few hours because there's so much information on overpopulation. Came back the next day with my tangible textbook and periodical information. And he told me that that's just one way of looking at it. So apparently my census, my government information, research papers done by population statistic professors, my news sources, and everything was just speculation that showed no real evidence. I also looked for anything to counter this tangible proof, and there was nothing except a few whack jobs on the internet who had no proof to back up their claims except religious dogma and wild disproven conspiracy theories. So, I told him to bring me tangible proof in numbers, graphs, different government college sources, written by people with PhDs, and pretty much he comes back with this. He says, his girlfriend's got a double major at UCI, and she says that the world is not overpopulated. That's his source, and that's his information. That is it. And I'm just waiting to see her with her double major degree in sociology telling me what the world needs is more babies. So, pretty much we finished the argument by him saying that birth control will not stop population growth. And that's when I told him that birth control and education was the best way to stop the population problem. I asked him if he had a better solution, and he answered me by sort of twisting the argument around to like a circular argument by saying, if we have faith in God and man, that our world will not be destroyed, and scientists are working to solve the problem. Now I can agree that we have a lot of scientists working on the problem, but the whole faith thing, I don't buy that. So, he asked me how else are we going to control the problem, And that's when I said, every person has to do his or own part. Be responsible, not having 4 kids like he does. And as I held my tangible information in my hands, he calls me an existentialist. He asks me why I'm getting all excited. And I told him that this type of subject fires me up because there's so many people who either don't care or don't know the situation, and soon our earth will be a dead planet. He said I was just mad because I was losing the argument. Me with all my research in front of me and him with nothing but a general idea of what he sees in his neighborhood, I told him that we are living longer, death rate cannot compete with the birth rate, more babies are being born, not enough elderly are dying, and I asked him why he wanted 4 kids, and he says because of all the love he had to give. I told him to adopt. He says he can't love another person's baby. So apparently, I say to him, you obviously don't have that much love inside of you then. And that's when he gets irritated. So, I told him until he gets some real information that I have won this debate. I told him that it was a shame that overpopulation to him is an idea that people are, people packed on top of each other like sardines. That's his idea of population, and his eyes won't be open to the problem till then. That's ridiculous. And, scientists even estimate that by 2020, we're going to have 9 billion. If not, probably by 2030 or so, 9 billion people. So, I just call him a breeder, and anytime he opens his mouth, from now on, I'm just going to say, shut up, breeder. And, he thinks I'm joking. So that's it. Hope it didn't piss you off, but, do the fucking research, look the shit up. There's a lot of stuff out there. Whatever, peace out.